Hey, Tony Gaskins here. Now listen, we're going back into the dating and relationship series, and every now and then I drop just general life videos on there, but we really got to get these relationships together. Prepare the singles, and then those who in a relationship, get y'all together, because we got to keep this thing going. Now listen, I want you to understand this, of these traits of what will make a good husband. This is important because a lot of women don't understand what's associated with what. And so you get a man and you don't know what it takes to be a husband, so you don't realize that what he may be doing is disadvantageous to marriage. Now, the first thing that you got to realize about a husband is that he has to have self-control. He got to have self-control. So what I mean by that is, if you want to be happy, it don't mean it can't work. Understand this now. It don't mean it can't work, because your tolerance says a lot. If you could tolerate a lot, then stuff could work. So it don't mean it can't work, but he got to have self-control. So what I mean by that is, okay, the public school got school today, private school got school today, is if he overeats, that's a bad sign, because it's gonna show up in other areas of that marriage. If he overdrinks, that's a bad sign. If he can't control himself, meaning that he has an addictive personality, that's a bad sign. So if a man smoke weed, that's a bad sign. If he vape, that's a bad sign. If he smokes cigarettes, that's a bad sign. It doesn't mean that he's gonna be a terrible person, terrible husband, but what it means is that he's willing to kill himself, meaning he's willing to take himself away from his wife and his children early by doing something, by taking a risk of giving himself throat cancer, lung cancer. It means he doesn't fully process his actions, and he doesn't count the cost, because he's willing to kill himself prematurely, because everyone knows that smoking is not good for you. Even if you smoking marijuana, everyone knows that that is a drug and it is addicting, and it changes your brain chemistry. Everyone knows that. So he knows that, and he's doing it anyways. That's a sign. If he gets drunk, that's equally, if not even more, worse, because by him getting drunk shows you that he doesn't think about his actions, and that he will eventually lose control. What this means is he will eventually get beside himself. He may put hands on you in a drunken state. He may cheat on you in a drunken state. So you got to take that in consideration, and you got to think about, okay, what can this lead to? If the man is not employed, if he's not working, or trying, if he's not working and consistently working, that's a red flag. That's a red flag, because it shows that he is willing to go against the nature of a man, his natural nature, and he will be willing to be a couch potato and to live off of you. It shows that he will be a child. You will have a dependent and not a man. So you got to pay attention to that. Another thing that a man needs, how you know he's gonna be a good husband, is if he has a fear and a reverence for God. If he does not fear God, he's not going to reverence and respect marriage, because God gives marriage its sanctity. God sanctifies marriage. Without God in the midst of a marriage, marriage is just a piece of paper. God sanctifies marriage. God blesses the union, the covenant. So if a man does not fear God, he's not going to be a good husband for long. He may have, he may do well on his own for the time that he can do well on his own. Now, what I found that I struggle with, because I fear God, but the number one thing that a man needs is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, and what I mean by this is wrapped up with temperament, meaning patience. Like, I rolled out the bed this morning. As soon as I get out the bed, my wife say, "Do you feel like going to Chick-fil-A for your youngest son?" Now, she the type to where she baby her kids. She go to the end of the earth and back for her kids. But at this point, then she asking me to do it. But I know it's something that she would do. If I say no, she would have stopped doing laundry. But she doing laundry for me and our oldest son, so that we got an option for anything we may need. She want to make sure everything is clean, so that anything we may need, we could pack it if we need to. So I get in the car, cold in my eyes, I ain't even got my voice. I just get out the bed, brush my teeth, put on some random clothes and flip-flops, and I had to go to Chick-fil-A and Starbucks. That's why I'm shooting these videos. I ain't feel like it. In that moment, as a man, you want to talk about the money you make. You want to talk about being the head of the household, why I'm running errands like a woman, why you want to be sexist. Yeah, you want to be chauvinist. You want to be, all that is just natural nature of a man. But having the temperament, having the emotional intelligence to just bite your tongue and just go ahead and do it, that's what makes a man a husband. And a lot of men don't have that, don't want to have that, don't believe in that, and that's why they can't have a successful marriage, because they can't pick their battles. They don't understand that having this peeing contest with your woman is immature, and that it gets you nowhere to stomp around as, "I'm a man," when you just could be, because your child don't even understand that. If my wife would have went to my son and say, "Hey, I'm doing laundry for them so they could fly out, but your dad say he don't want to go to Chick-fil-A because he's a man." A child, huh? Men can't go to Chick-fil-A? Only women can go to Chick-fil-A? You see what I'm saying? But it's some men that are so chauvinistic that they'll say something like that. That they'll say, "Why am I running errands if I'm the breadwinner, if I make the money? I'm tired from working 40 hours a week in the hot sun, or 80 hours or 60 hours or whatever," and they'll come up with something. And we make a big deal about nothing. We'll make a big deal about who get their plate served first. And I had to realize, I'm a grown man. If I got a 5-year-old and that baby's stomach hurting because that baby hungry, and that baby seeing food being made, it don't understand, oh, the man get his plate first because he the man. Daddy get his plate first. That baby's stomach hurt. So as a man, the man supposed to put the women and children before him. Leaders eat last. But we'll get in our feelings and we get so caught up on the wrong thing. And so you got to pay attention to that. When you dating a man, if he overly chauvinistic, not chivalrous, now, don't confuse chauvinistic with chivalrous, if he a male chauvinist, if he a sexist, if he think that because he a man, he's special in the sight of God and you less than, you gotta pick up on those little slick stuff he'll say and do. Because when he get married to you, it's gonna be hell on earth. And you better get ready for it. So pay attention. And you wanna make sure this man he's temperate. Not temperamental. He's temperate. He is patient. And he has emotional intelligence. He knows how to regulate his emotions. You want to make sure he got that. And then in addition to that, he has a fear and a reverence for God. And in addition to that, he has good decision making and self-control. If he got those four, five things, he will make a good husband. He will make a good husband. Because I had to develop those things, but what I realized is I don't get drunk, I don't get high, I don't watch porn, I don't curse, I don't gamble. And those things have sustained my marriage, because if I add those things to my marriage, I don't know that I would be faithful. I probably would not be faithful if I add those things to my marriage. And so I had to realize that. And understand that it's those things that has made a difference. And so you got to pay attention. A lot of times women just get a man and just be so happy to have a man and just don't pay attention to, oh man, this man drank like a fish. This man smoked like a chimney. This man cursed like a sailor. This man irrational. This man emotional. This man always angry. He always ready to fight somebody. It's just a man. Man, it just must be men. Man, it just must be his neighborhood. It just must be his father. It just must be his family. No. You got an underdeveloped, failure to launch man. And you got to realize that is not going to fare well in marriage. Point blank, period. So once you realize and understand that though, you got something. You're on to something. Trust me when I tell you. So think about this. Take notes. And one of the underlying things here is self-control. The self-control kind of dip and dab in all of those areas, because it's not just a one-size-fits-all. And what I mean by that is a man may gamble, but if he got self-control, meaning he gamble but he don't really gamble. It's not like he goes and he goes broke at the casino. You know, he may say, hey, I can afford to have fun with $100. He put that 100 in the slot machine or whatever, blackjack, crap table. I'm not condoning gambling now, but I'm giving you an example of self-control, how self-control overrides vices. And so, boom, he done used that 100. If he won something, he won something. He put it in another pocket. That's his profit. He got up, he left. Boom, he done. Just like that. That's self-control. Now you know that particular thing, he just does that for fun. It ain't something that has a hold of him. It ain't something. Now, the issue with that is it doesn't mean that it can't become something that has a hold of him. It doesn't mean that in a moment of desperation that it won't take over. Because it could take over one day. And that's where you gotta really weigh it. that's where you got to have a tough conversation and say, you know, why do you do that? And do you think you could let it go? If you need to let it go, could you let this go? And if he like, no, I don't think I'll ever let that go. And yeah, if it get down to it and I really, really need to, you know, make some money, then yeah, I might ball out with it. Then now you know, okay, yeah, got me a degenerate. Hey, this Tony Gasson. God bless you. And we'll talk soon.